Macam mana tu? Macam-macam term lah.
Ni apa macam makluman lah, kena tutup mic apa semua.
Okey, insyaAllah boleh live sekarang.
Housekeeping, insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah
Dah boleh,
live sekarang. Dah, sudah kita dah live dah, Ustaz. Kita dah start live, dah boleh mula insyaAllah.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to day 2 of Ta'aruf Week Semester 2 2020-2021 intake, and welcome to the Garden of Knowledge and Virtue. As we are about to begin, I have a few important announcements to make before we begin this session. Firstly, please ensure that your internet connection is stable for a smooth running of this session and mute your mic. Secondly, kindly fill in the attendance form provided by the committee in the chat box. Thirdly, if you have any questions to the speaker throughout the session, feel free to fill in the comment section provided in this YouTube Live. Last but not least, at the end of the session, please fill in the survey form prepared by the committee. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To begin, let us recite the Kitab Al-Fatiha. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, we are honored to have Murabbi Task Force with us today. Without further ado, we pass our floor to the moderator.
Who is the moderator?
That means I pass the floor to you, Stas.
Okay, thank you. I thought we have a specific moderator to moderate this program. Okay, thank you. Never mind. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه، من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, and welcome to all my children, the new student, the new intake student of the Garden of Knowledge and Virtue International Islamic University. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for being selected to be the members of this Garden of Knowledge and Virtue. And among those students from all over the world, you are the selected one, and be proud of yourself, and then you should be grateful and thankful to Allah for this bounty, for this ni'mah. And inshallah, for tonight's session, I, Abdullah Bukhari bin Abdul Rahim, one of the Murabbi Task Force members of this university. Okay, before we continue with the session, I would like to introduce what is Murabbi Task Force is all about. Okay, Murabbi Task Force is a group, team up, a group of lecturers and administrators of this university who teamed up in order to create an Islamic environment in this university. Not to say that we are lacking of the Islamic environment in this university, but to strengthen, to coordinate everything so that this university is truly the garden of knowledge and virtue with the Islamic background. Okay, alhamdulillah. For tonight's session, the topic will be, I share with you the screen here. Okay, I believe you can see the screen, right? Hamizul, you can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, the tonight's session will be a very easy and leisure session. You don't have to be so tense in listening to my tadhkirah or talk tonight. Okay, the topic tonight is very dear to our heart, and as a Muslim, or even maybe I believe some student of this university for this intake is non-Muslim, never mind. You are always welcome. And then even though maybe your religion is different from our religion of this university, but akhlaq, the characteristic, a good attribute of good characteristic is always relevant to every one of us. But for the Muslim student, Muslim new intake student, tonight's topic will be akhlaq. The good character is the root of the righteous, or insan budiman. Okay, literally insan is human being. Budiman, the gentleman. Budiman is gentleman. Okay, one of the mission of the university is to educate the student to be the insan budiman, or the gentleman, or the righteous, so that after graduating or while in the middle of your study in this university, you are the representatives or the ambassadors of this university to portray our good name, the good name of this university, and at the highest peak to portray the good self or the good example of Muslim and our religion Islam. Okay, before that, let us look into the definition of budiman. Okay, soon inshallah, when you continue or start your study in the university, inshallah you will get used to the term of budiman. Budiman. Why? Because the literal meaning of garden of knowledge and virtue is the garden taman, knowledge, ilmu, and virtue, budi. So those who possess of the good values or good virtues as a human being, and in particular Muslim, you call the budiman, budi and man. It's like Spider Man, Superman. So we are budiman, or English we call it the gentleman. But as far as international IUM is concerned, actually we have this simple definition of budiman. Budiman, or the gentleman, is a balanced person who puts others first. And budiman is the insan sejahtera, who displays courage and wisdom in her or her actions, acts as the agent of change and leader of the ummah, has strong common sense, and has the traits of giving to others. We call it selfless or ether. And of course, all of these budiman things or definition inevitably or undeniably is rooted from the Islamic akhlaq, So inshallah, our topic today will focus on the importance of akhlaq and the holistic view of Islamic akhlaq derived from our two main sources, which are Al-Quran and the Sunnah. Okay, talking about gentleman or the budiman, I would like to share with you the story of our Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Okay, this story actually taken from Surah Al-Qasas, Surah number 28, verse 23 and 24. Okay, before we go into the story of Prophet Musa in this verses, you have to know Prophet Musa, a long time ago, was raised by Fir'aun himself. I think all of you know about this story. Was raised by Fir'aun himself, and then the bigger our Prophet Musa became, he started to confront with Fir'aun, his foster father. And then one day, okay, before that, Fir'auns of Egypt during that time was from the race of Coptic. They were Coptic Egyptian. And Musa, and in other case, or are from Bani Israel. And then one day, one Coptic person were fighting with person of Bani Israel, the same race of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. This is a man of Bani Israel called Prophet Musa for help, and unintentionally, without the intention, Prophet Musa used to punch. Prophet Musa punched the Coptic person, and then unfortunately he passed away. And then because of that, Fir'aun and his people hunted down Prophet Musa alayhi salam out of fear for Fir'aun. Prophet Musa ran away until he reached Midian or the Madian. Okay, the Madian, if you read from the Holy Quran, Madian is the place of one of great prophet in Islam, Shu'aib alayhi salam. And then upon his reach to Madian, some scholars say that Prophet Musa took a long journey, nearly 8 days, without taking any meals. Can you imagine that? He is so hungry, so tired. And then when he arrived at the well of Madian, he found a group of people watering the herds, their cows, the goats, sheep. And then apart from that, he noticed 2 women holding back their herds. And then naturally, the gentleman, the gentle attitude or akhlaq of our Prophet Musa, without hesitation, he went straight to these 2 women or these 2 girls and asked them, what is your problem? And then these 2 girls say to Prophet Musa, we cannot water our animals until the other shepherds are done. And for our father is a very old man, so we are the only his only children. So that is why we need to come here and do all the chores, mainly to water the sheep, the goats, and the cows. And then because of that, Prophet Musa alayhi salam, without hesitation, helped them without thinking of himself. Can you imagine? He traveled a very long way, a very tiring tiring journey. He's hungry, of course. He's tired, thirsty, but instead of put himself before others, he put others before himself. He watered, he helped these 2 children, these 2 girls. So this is the kind of attitude that we need to have. So this is as I say, the main story of our talk today. It's about akhlaq, akhlaq of the Budiman, the gentleman, as portrayed by our university. Okay, before that, we continue with the definition. Of course, we have to know what is the definition of akhlaq. So, okay, this is the Arabic one. So the English one, as I can say, akhlaq is about the firm state of soul and mind. The firm state of soul and mind, which moves someone towards spontaneous action without any need for reflection or deliberation. Meaning by that, you are doing something without thinking of it. If you are the munafiq, if you have the nifaq, if you are the hypocrites, sometimes the hypocrites, they can act, they can pretend to be good, but without under the view of any human being, the hypocrites will act accordingly to his soul without thinking of it. So there is akhlaq. If the good action generates from the person without thinking, without reflection or any deliberation, we call it akhlaq. Is it good? It becomes the good akhlaq, and vice versa. Meaning by that, akhlaq is something which is natural. Akhlaq is something which is natural. If you are doing good without thinking anything, not showing off to people or to human being, to other people, not because you are caught into camera and then being focused in the social media, you're still doing good without people knowing that you are doing good. That is a good akhlaq. The move or the act of yourself without reflection or long deliberation. Okay, there is akhlaq. Okay, let us see some example. For example, this one, on the train, inshallah, you are sitting wonderfully, happily on your seat. And then you found that this old man comes to you. What will you do? If you see the old man and then you have this passion, the compassion, and the rahmah, and then you immediately offers your seat to him without people around or no CCTV attached anywhere or on the train, then you are doing the good akhlaq. Naturally. Okay, the second example. This is the very bad man, very bad boy. Not considering other people. Or for example, this one, this father is smoking without thinking of the baby. So your choice. Which one is your akhlaq? Okay, For example, this is another issues in our university. Some students, they have a lack of common sense on the disabled. Okay, this is the real picture I took long time ago. Okay, this is the blue lane here. This is a specific area, the access for the disabled to go up there. They have the ramp. And then some people, without having the common sense, just park the bicycle or the motorcycle there. So if you are doing this, you are not the gentleman. You are not the budiman. You are not having a good akhlaq. So that is why, in order to have akhlaq, good akhlaq, you have to have the knowledge. You have to have the knowledge. Okay, this is another example. Your choice. After having your meals in the cafe or the restaurant, you can either leave it like that because you believe, you know, that the cleaner will clean up for you. Or you have the choice, upper right here, you have the choice. You can ease the burden of the workers or the cleaners at the canteen or at the cafe. Maybe you put everything in order. At least you help the cleaners to ease the burden. So this is all about akhlaq. It comes to you naturally based on your knowledge and your understanding on how good akhlaq or bad akhlaq is all about. Okay, I would like to share with you the wonder or the magic of akhlaq, good akhlaq, a good character. Okay, this is the story. Actually, this is my book, my third book. Actually, I wrote this book long time ago, 2014, and then in this book, I share with the readers the story of this woman, namely Anne Spaulding. Actually, Anne Spaulding is the veterans of Iraqi wars in the US. And then a month before the historical event of 11 September, she embraced Islam a month before that. And then unfortunately, after the event of 11 September, the anti-Islam sentiment were all over the place. And then one day, when Anne Spaulding, the Muslim went, one day when Anne Spaulding were at the shopping mall, finding her groceries, her things, her things. And then behind her, there was a young man, young American white man. And then from behind, this young man saw Anne Spaulding wearing the hijab from the behind. And then because of the anti-Islam sentiment were all over the place, this young man saw Anne Spaulding from behind, and he said to himself, oh, this is the terrorist. She is the terrorist. She and her kind actually responsible for the bombing of Twin Tower in New York. And without thinking any further, this young man ran and pushed the trolley right on her back, on Anne Spaulding's back. And then because of that, the rack and the trolley fell over her, and then she were badly injured because of the attack. And then unfortunately, the security officers of the shopping mall caught this man, and then he was sent to the police station. And then Anne Spaulding, this woman, she was sent to the hospital and got 9 stitches on the face because of the attack. And then the police called her to the police station, asked her to identify the attacker. And then he confirmed, she actually confirmed the attacker. And then the police said, okay, we will press charge on him and he will go to jail. And then Anne Spaulding, you know what? After only a month old Muslim, reverted to Islam only a month before the incident. And then she said to the policeman, okay, never mind. Let me deal or discuss with him on the issue. And then Anspondi went to see the attacker and then said to the attacker, okay, actually I can just press charge on you. You will be jailed for certain years or months. Okay, the second option is that I will never press charge on you, provided that you have to go or you have to attend 10 sessions of introduction to Islam. If you agree with my terms, I will tell the policeman you don't have to press charge on him. And then thinking about his fate in the future, if we can the prisoner, then this young man agreed to go for 10 sessions of Islamic teaching. And then alhamdulillah, after 10 sessions of Islamic teaching, this young man who was in the beginning hated Islam so much because of the anti-Islam sentiment after 11 September, embraced Islam because of the story. And then after a year, this young man managed to find Anspondi, and he somehow thanked Anspondi. Thank you, sister, because of your good akhlaq. You brought me to Islam. You introduced me to Islam. So this is the wonder, the magic of the good akhlaq has been portrayed by this woman, even though she only embraced Islam or reverted to Islam a month before the incident. Subhanallah. So that is why good akhlaq is very important. So in our university, throughout your study, 4 years, 5 years in this university, you have to internalize the good akhlaq as has been taught to you. It will have that will be taught to you in this university. Okay, this is another story. This is another story about the importance of good akhlaq. Okay, this is the story of my friend. Okay, this is the author of this book. His name is Ustaz Hasridal Abdul Jamil, Malaysian. Actually, he further his study in Jordan, and then after finishing his study in Jordan, Ustaz Hasridal went to Ireland, and then he became the imam, the Muslim chaplain, or the imam in the mosque in Ireland. And then Ustaz Aziza tells us a story in his book. Among the activities organized by the mosque in Ireland is to open one specific day for the okay, sorry. Okay, this mosque actually provided one specific day for to open the mosque for the non-Muslim. And among the non-Muslim, the Christians of Ireland who used to go there and learn about Islam almost every week was Laura. And then Laura, one day after the Jumu'ah prayer, confessed her shahada. And then after that, Ustaz Aziza asked Laura, oh, what makes you so eager to embrace Islam? And then Laura said, okay, 2 days ago, actually 2 days ago, 2 days ago, we have this gathering on the Monday day in our church. And then the priest of the reverend in the church gave us a very inspiring and moving speech on how to do good to parents, And then almost everyone in the church broke out in tears because of the speech given or delivered by the reverend. And then after that, after the gathering was finished, before going out from the church, Laura went to see the reverend, and then he praised the reverend. Oh, subhanallah, my dear reverend, your speech today is very good. Let me, can I ask you something? Yes, the reverend. Did you refer to Al-Quran to discuss on the topic on how to do good to parents? And the reverend said, indeed, the contents, all the contents of my speech just now was derived from the Al-Quran, because indeed Al-Quran is the best book, discusses on how to do good to parents. Because of this Islamic concept of akhlaq, the next day Laura went to see Ustaz Hasizal in the island mosque, and then she embraced Islam. Why? Because of the good concept, the Islamic concept of akhlaq. So that is why we should be proud of our religion, because everything is here. Everything is here. So in order to be proud of yourself with your religion, you have to internalize or practice a good akhlaq. Good akhlaq. Okay, talking about good akhlaq, I mean sources of akhlaq in Islam, of course, it's from Al-Quran and the Sunnah. And then of course, the best man with akhlaq, of course, is our Holy Prophet. Because Allah says in many verses, for example, this ayah, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. And truly, you are a man of outstanding character or akhlaq. And of course, we have to follow our Holy Prophet in practicing the good akhlaq. Okay, for example, this hadith, Abdullah bin Amr say, the Prophet never used bad language, neither acted indecently. And of course, he used to say, the best amongst you are those who have the best manners and characters. And meaning by that, if you really love your Holy Prophet, if you claim that you love your Holy Prophet, you have to have a good akhlaq. And the akhlaq, the Islam akhlaq, is very holistic. And even if you want to, a book, if I can say, your key to Jannah, among the most important thing that you need to have is to have a good akhlaq. Because once Rasulullah was asked about that for which people are admitted into paradise the most, and he said, taqwa of Allah, fear Allah, and good character. See, as if I can say, if you want to go to Jannah, the key is to have a good akhlaq. Okay, when we are talking about akhlaq or Islam akhlaq, you have to understand Islam actually somehow has a very holistic perspective on akhlaq. Actually, it covers every aspect of human lives, say economy, social, muamalah, environment, and many more. And inshallah, throughout our presentation, my tadhkirah, you can see, I will give you some example on how Islam covers every aspect of human life on akhlaq. Okay, the first one in debt. If someone, if you are lending your money to someone, actually you don't have to push him, because in this ayah, see, Allah says, وَإِنْ كَانَ ذُو عُسْرَةٍ, if it is difficult for someone to repay a debt, postpone it until a time of ease. And if you waive it as an act of charity, it will be better for you, if only you knew. Meaning by that, in order to practice akhlaq, if someone lend money from you, you have two choices. The first one, you should consider his situation, because if he or she in the difficult situation, a real difficult situation, you should consider his or her situation may be postponed until a time of ease. Or better for you, if you are a rich man, rich person, you just waive it and consider that that is your charity or your sadaqah to him. It is akhlaq in that. Even in the communication. Okay, nowadays we are living in this world of social media. You don't have to speak loudly. Your finger can speak on your behalf. Your finger can speak on your behalf. You can share, you can comment everything in the social media. And then in this ayah, Allah actually tells us about the akhlaq and communication. Allah say, of believers, if an evildoer of the fasiq brings you any news any uncertain news, verify it first so you do not harm people unknowingly, becoming regretful for what you have done. Meaning by that, if you have any news, you don't just simply share the news. You have to verify first. Is it true or wrong? If the news is true, then you think to you say to yourself, is there any benefit if I just share the news? If the news actually gives me the reward from Allah, pahala, the thawab, then you share. If the useless news, even though it is true, you don't have to share, because you have to practice akhlaq in communication. Even akhlaq in the financial affairs. Okay, I believe my dear student right now are from different colleges, a different specialization, and inshallah after 4 or 5 years, or I can say after maybe 10 years, maybe some of you will be somebody in your own area or specialization. If you are in the area of economics or finance, in the finance environment, you will be somebody. So that is why in this university we will teach you about the akhlaq. We will give you all the software or the software to prepare yourself to be a good Muslim, a man, a Muslim, or graduates of this university with full integrity and thinking only, not only for this worldly life, but for the hereafter. For example, in this hadith, Rasulullah somehow, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, told us about the importance of akhlaq in financial affairs. Which it is said, "Man ista'malnahu ala amal." When we appoint someone to an administrative post, and provide him with an allowance. Okay, that's it. Okay, you were employed. You are employed by certain group of people or the government, the company, and then the boss, the company actually prescribe for you your job description and then your pay, your salary, and then it is mentioned here, anything he takes beyond, that is unfaithful dealing. We call it ghulul. For example, your job is to do this and to do this, and then because of that, on your job description, you will be paid accordingly. This is your salary. If you happen to take any other money behind your salary, it considered as the ghulul, unfaithful dealing. This is so actually the topic. This topic is so vast, so huge. Maybe we can make a specific discussion on this topic. I do not want to continue on this topic. Just tonight, I just want to share with you the main concept, how Islam teaches us on the importance of akhlaq in every aspect of our life. Okay, akhlaq in public fund affairs. Okay, this is a very interesting story. During the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam appointed a man from the tribe of Al-Azd called Ibn al-Utbiyyah for collecting the zakah. When he returned to Rasulullah, he said, "Oh Rasulullah, actually, there were 2 portions of money, 2 portions of collections I made. Okay, this is the zakah for you, and this has been given to me as a present by the tribe, by the people. Okay, this is for you, and then this is a present for me." And then because of that, Rasulullah said, why hadn't he stayed at his father's or mother's house to see whether he would be given present or not? And then Rasulullah said, by him in whose hands my life is, whoever takes something from the resources of the zakah or anything unlawfully will be carrying it on his neck on the day of resurrection. Meaning by that, you claim that you be given, you have been given the present because of your position. And the Rasul say, okay, if you think that this kind of present is sincerely given to you by the people because you are you deserve to have this present, you can make a test. You stay in your father's or mother's house. If someone came to you or come to you and give you the present, so there is a real present. But the problem is that you claim that people are giving you this present because of the position. Meaning by that, it's not about the real present, but you are misuse your position as the collector of zakah here. So this is among the issues that we need to take into consideration. And inshallah, throughout your study in this university, the university will teach you on the halal and the haram in your worldly affairs. And even akhlaq with animal, even akhlaq, one joking, because we have, okay, this is panggilan hangit. Panggilan hangit is something like a prank call. People say that, oh, it's only for joke, and then they lie when they call you, and then they actually the caller from this radio station actually creates a situation or false situation or lie situation in order to prank you, even though it is only for joke, but it is prohibited in Islam. Clearly see here. The companions of Rasul told us that they were traveling with the Prophet. A man then slept, and one of them went to the rope which belongs to the man and took it, by which he was frightened. And all of them were laughing at this man when he was very shocked finding his rope being taken by his friend. It's just only for joking. And then Rasulullah said, "La yahillu li muslimin an yurawwi'a musliman." It is not lawful for any Muslim that he frightens a Muslim. See, akhlaq in everything. And then visual akhlaq in social media. You don't have to be the keyboard warrior, because every act you did or you do in this world will be recorded, or you will be accountable of your act. Even in the social media, for example, you share something which is not good, or you make a bad comment on something which is not necessary to unnecessarily comment on something which hurt people. It will be recorded, all of that, by the angels on your left and on your right side of your body, Raqib and Atid. So that is why we are talking about akhlaq. In Islam, akhlaq covers every aspect of human's life. Even akhlaq with different gender. This is not a problem. So in the beginning of your entrance to this university, I would like to remind you, we are in the Islamic university, so you have to uphold the good name of Islam, or the good name of our university. Among the problem we face in this university about close proximity, or we call it khalwat, with different gender, because it is clearly mentioned in the hadith. Rasulullah said, "Behold, a man is not alone with a woman, but the third of them is the devil." And you can imagine, if the third person in your relationship is the devil, of course the devil, he actually made a promise with Allah to let a human being astray, to pull as many as he or they could human being, the son of Adam, the children of Adam, into the hellfire together with him. So we have to be careful. Akhlaq with different gender. You shouldn't go and sit closely, or you have a close proximity with different gender. It is wrong in Islam, and it is wrong also in our university regulation. Please be careful with that. Okay, we are running out of time. Oh, we have another 20 minutes. Okay, never mind. Okay, some confusions about the akhlaq, because sometimes we find man or woman, male or female, with a good akhlaq or good characteristic, but in the meantime he or she neglects the salah. He is the non-believers, non-Muslim, good akhlaq, but dresses indecently. Good akhlaq, a good characteristic, very polite with human being, never lies, never take bribery, but not fasting in Ramadan, or reject the concept of zakah, and so on and so forth. Maybe some people or some student, new student, they are confused with this kind of people. So in order to give you a holistic, the universal meaning of akhlaq, we have to know. Talking about akhlaq is not about akhlaq with a human being. The highest peak of akhlaq, the highest peak of akhlaq is akhlaq with Allah, your creator. If you want to talk about akhlaq, first you have to fulfill your obligation towards Allah. You must have the good akhlaq with Allah. How do you have a good akhlaq, practice good akhlaq with Allah? First, you should never associate Allah with any other things. If you find someone with a good akhlaq, good characteristic, never lies, always give charity, help people, but in the meantime, he or she associates Allah with other beings, he has no akhlaq with Allah. So in our university, we have this Tawhid paradigm. Tawhid is the oneness of Allah. Everything is all about Allah. We are doing things because we want to get Allah's pleasure, Allah's blessing on us. So that is why we are talking about akhlaq. The highest spirit of akhlaq is not about your relationship with human beings, your fellow human beings. The highest peak of akhlaq is to have a good akhlaq with Allah by practicing all what He asks us to do and leave behind on the prohibitions. Okay. No tawhid, no value. Okay, these two pictures may be sensitive, but I need to share with you these two pictures, these two characteristics. These two characters are very inspiring characters. The left side is Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, the Christian. She spent almost all of she spends almost all her life to do good thing and charity. And the right side is Bill Gates, the richest man, one of the richest men in this one. He has this foundation, Melinda Gates Foundation. Both of them do charities all over the world. But the problem is that they don't have the tawhid. They never profess or confess the oneness of Allah. The oneness of Allah. Because of that, no value at all on the charity, the act of charity. Because it is mentioned in the hadith. Rasulullah said, a huge fat man, it is the metaphor. Huge fat man, as if he or she or he made a lot of charity in this world. And then in the hereafter will come forward on the day of resurrection, and he will weigh no more than the wing of a mosquito to Allah. And then Rasulullah said, recite if you wish, فَلَا نُقِيمُ لَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَزْنًا. The last among the last verses of Surah Al-Kahfi. And on the day of resurrection, we shall assign no weight for them. Why? Because no tawhid. Because no akhlaq with Allah. Even in another verses, Allah say, وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُ مِنْ عَمَلٍ. Then we will turn to whatever good deeds they did in the world long time ago. And then because of no tawhid, because they never confess or never acknowledge the oneness of Allah, what is Allah say? فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. And we turn it into the scattered dust. On the good deeds, reduced to to become the scattered dust. No use. And among the better akhlaq with Allah, this is another problem in our university. As a Muslim, we should observe our salah. We should complete the salah 5 times a day. So that is why Allah say, if even though you have a good character, you being polite to people, you always help people, but in the meantime you neglect the salah, you have no akhlaq at all with Allah. Even though you please people, Allah are angry with you. Because in this hadith, Rasulullah say, Inna bayna al-rajuli wa bayna al-shirki wal-kufri tarka as-salah. Between a man, a Muslim, and a disbeliever and the paganism is the abandonment of salah. So if you want to show that you have a possess a good akhlaq, first you must practice a good akhlaq with Allah by doing all the commandments of Allah. And the highest peak of the commandment of Allah is to watch over, to observe, or to practice salah. Do not neglect the salah. Okay, this is among the akhlaq that should IUM student, particularly the new student, I hope, because you are now at the main entrance, as if that you are planting your own plants, your own tree. From the very beginning, it is important for you, before you plant your tree, the metaphor of your life in this university, you must first water and give the protect, wash over your plant accordingly has been prescribed by Allah. Okay, akhlaq of Muslim or the IIM student. Number one, observe the good intention. You have to observe your intention. What is my intention of enrolling or becoming the student of this university? It's not about having the degree or find a job after your graduation from this university. No. The first thing is that you are doing anything or you are taking any subject, any courses or any course in this university. Why? Because the sake of Allah. Because the sake of Allah. I joined this university or I further my study in this university. Why? Because I want to seek knowledge, and among the in seeking knowledge is among the best thing, the noble action that Muslim can do. And then with your knowledge, be it the lawyer, the economist, the scholars, and so on and so forth, you have to observe your good intention. I enroll my study here. I want to become a good Muslim doctor, a good Muslim lawyer, a good Muslim scientist, and so on and so forth. Everything is for the sake of Allah. That was the first important mission before you enter this university, physically or mentally. Okay. And then number two, you have to practice due respect to your teachers and your classmates. You have to practice, because in Islam we believe in this barakah, or the blessing, the barakah. Well, because we can find many students, a very brilliant student, bright and brilliant student, but he has no adab or she has no adab with the teachers. Even though after the graduation, he became a good person, a very well-known person, but because of the lack of adab, he has no barakah in the knowledge. So that is why when you enroll in this university, you have to practice due respect to your teacher mainly and your classmate, because this is the hadith. Rasulullah said, he is not one of us who does not have mercy upon our young, nor knows the honor of our elders, nor knows our scholars' right. Because your lecturers in this university are the scholars who somehow will, inshallah, shape your life to become somebody. Okay. And then number three, you have to observe. You have to observe your word when you continue your study in this university. Okay, sorry. Because Allah said clearly here, okay, what I mean by your word is your physical word and your virtual word in the social media. Because some students, we have the experience in the past, some students, they use a very bad word towards the university administration or the university authority or the university lecturers in the social media. And then because of that, he or she have somehow reflected a bad view on our university. Because Allah say here, tell my believing servants to say only what is best, because here is the shaitan, the devil, certainly seeks to sow discord among them. So that it is a very natural or in line with the fitrah. Even though even you yourself, if someone talk to you nicely compared to those who talk with you using the harsh word, it is easier for you to absorb the advice delivered to you with a good word. That was number 3. Sorry, number 1. This should be number 4. You should do your best or excel in learning for the sake of Allah and Ummah. Because in this hadith, Rasul say, Inna Allah Azza wa Jalla yuhibbu idha amila ahadukum amran an yutqinahu. Allah loves someone who, when works, he performs it in the perfect manners, or we call it itqan. Try your best during your study in this university to do your best. Because if you are doing your best in your study or in any activity you do in this university, it is for your own good. It's for your own good, inshallah. Number 5, you have to uphold the pride of best ummah with action. With action. Because in these verses in Surah Ali Imran, Allah say, you are the best community ever raised for humanity. You are the Muslim, the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then the main condition that you should be proud of yourself is not only claiming that you are best ummah without the action. The action should be تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You encourage good, forbid evil, and believe in Allah. And inshallah, the syllabus of this university are very integrated syllabus. Even though you learn economy, law, or anything, or even medical, anything in this university, it actually integrates with the good akhlaq, with your real position in this one as a Khalifa, the vicegerent of Allah. Inshallah. So we have to uphold the pride of best ummah with action, not only feeling proud of the acknowledgement of Allah that you are the best ummah because you are Muslim, but you have to prove it with action. And finally, number 5, finally, of course, we have to abide with the laws. Abide with the laws of the laws of the authority. For example, if you are on campus, you have to abide with the university authority. And then if you are outside, for example, if you are the international student, welcome to you, international student of this university. If you are outside of campus, you have to abide the law, the government of the authorities, because it is very Islamic. Because Allah say in this ayah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O believers, ati'u Allah, obey Allah, wa ati'u ar-rusul, and obey the messengers. Wa ulil amri minkum, and also you have to obey those in authority among you. And then if you are in the university, for example, in mahalla, in the hostel, and the kuliah, everywhere in the university, abide with the law. You have to follow the laws, because the laws somehow was created or prescribed is for our own good. It's not to confine you or to contain your action, because it is part of the education. Inshallah, after finishing your study in this university, if you practice a good conduct of law in this university, it will somehow give you a good or positive impact on your personality. You possess a good akhlaq, you respect the law of the authority wherever you are, and inshallah, you will be a good man, and at the highest peak, you will be the good slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And finally, before I end my presentation or my talk, Tadhkirah tonight, I would like to remind all of you that you are the ambassadors of IUM. You are the representative of IUM, and of course, you are the ambassador of Islam. If you want to portray, if you want to take Islam at the highest peak in this world, similarly, just like been done by the first generation of Islam, Rasulullah and the companions, you have to practice Islam. You have to practice Islam in a holistic manner, universal manner. So because you are the ambassadors, representative of Islam and IUM. because if you when you continue your study here, among the vision and mission of the university is to create the preachers, the future leaders, the preachers or the future Islamic leaders of the world. And then alhamdulillah, so far as IIM is concerned, we have many leaders of the world, all of the world, who really imbued or who really internalize the good education system offered by our university. And then finally, I say to you, enjoy and benefit your time in this garden of knowledge and virtue, International Islamic University of Malaysia. By that, I end my presentation. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ustaz Abdullah Bukhari, for the beneficial sharing, brothers and sisters. Next, we will have a question and answer session. If you have any question for Ustaz Abdullah Bukhari, please leave some questions in the comment section. Let us wait for the students to give some questions.
Okay. Actually, if you don't have question, better. We have another 1 minute. Do you have any question in the YouTube?
Not yet. But we do have time until 10:30 actually, Ustaz.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it's only 9 to 10.
I think maybe some people forgot to update you, maybe.
Okay, never mind. Actually, the shorter the better. Even you yourself, if you are given the choices, long speech, a long tazkira, a short tazkira, of course. For me myself, I go for the short tazkira because I believe all the students are very tired because they have a long day program today, and then sitting in front of the computer is not a pleasure. It's not a pleasant experience, right?
Yeah, it's a bit tiring nowadays.
Yes,
it's
of
online.
Course. Yeah. No question. If no question, that is all.
I think the students don't have any question. So before we end our session, the Ta'aruf Week committee and organizer have a video to show to all of us, and let us watch the video.
Yeah, okay, thank you. You have to open your mic.
Brothers and sisters, we have now reached the end of our session. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to our panel today and also our VIPs for attending the session. We apologize and express our regret for any shortcomings. We will now end our session with the recitation of Tasbih Kafarah and Suratul As. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.